on, YouTube? I have not posted a video in like a month and a half. Been busy with my baby girl. She turned 7 months last week. So been busy with that. Work's been busy. Tax season's wrapped up, and now I finally got a few minutes. I figured I'd post a video with an update on what's going on. So as you guys know, man, I got the Infiniti Q50 3.7 liter, not the twin turbo, the 3.7 liter 2015. That I think that was the last production year for that motor. Let me tell you, I love this car. If this is your first time watching, you'll know that I'm like obsessed with this car. Not the fastest thing you will ever drive by any stretch, but it is so much fun to drive because the exhaust, I absolutely love it. That's probably one of the reasons why I fell in love with Infinitis in the first place. Is I think it was maybe in high school. I'm going 10, 11 years back, but I think it was high school the first time I heard a G35, I think it was, and the purr. You guys know what sound I'm talking about. It was to die for, and I was like, I need to get one of those things. And never ended up getting the G37. I was into BMWs and a lot of other, Euro cars at that time, but finally came back and decided this is the time to get it. So give me 1 second. This intersection sucks. It's not ever going to be as fast as the twin turbos. It's never going to be as fast as the Red Sports. I don't know if you can do anything to make it faster than a Red Sport, but I'll tell you what, it is fun to drive. And I just had my first track experience. Well, now it's about a month ago, but it was my first time ever on a real track, not a drag strip, not autocross. It was an actual track. It was Thunderbolt track over in Millville, New Jersey Motorsports Park. And let me tell you, it was a blast while it lasted. So I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys how it went, what went down, what my experience was like, and then kind of sum to you guys what my next one is. And that's the good news. I have another track day coming up, and it's going to be in September, and I am beyond excited for that day. So let me take you guys back about a month to explain what's going on and where I'm at. So I have a ton of mods done to this thing. Basically every bolt-on mod you can have on this vehicle I have. I have no cat. It has been tuned via EcuTech, and it's basically, there's not much more you can do to it. So I got a couple new mods over the past few weeks, but I won't talk on those yet. Let me explain to you the scenario. So I went to the track. I had my inspection, everything cleared out, my tires, everything good. I didn't need oil change, so I figured I'd get an oil change as soon as I wrapped up. Went to track day, did the warm-up lap, was absolutely appalled with the excitement I was having on this track. Just being able to speed without having to look in your rear view mirror or have a radar going off. It was a lot of fun. And I highly recommend it to anybody. I don't care what car you got. So, I had a Lambo in front of me, a Ferrari behind me, a Z01, a couple cars behind me. I was probably, believe it or not, the slowest car on the track because it was like all exotic vehicles. They did have a Miata, they did have like a Fiat, but those things were not stock. Those things were done up and, would kill you on the corners. So anyway, I did my warm-up lap. Everything was great. I was excited. I was happy, warming up the tires, learning about the Apex, because you can play video games all you want. You can look on YouTube all you want. You don't actually know what it's like coming out of an Apex or going into an Apex unless you're going into or coming out of an Apex. So I would highly recommend it for anybody. Of course, it was my first time on a track, so I did have someone in my passenger seat basically explaining to me how everything worked, how to turn, how to go in and out of the Apex, and most importantly, there's the guys every so often that have flags, and they're pointing out hazards, they're pointing out if you should let somebody pass or if you should pass. So there's a learning curve there with the flags, because they give you a little synopsis before that fact, but there's like 10 or 11 different flags. Like I couldn't remember it, so it was really good having him as a resource. But anyway, we go out on the track. he takes it first, not the trial lap, but actually now we're on the track. He figures, you know what? He figures, you know what? Let me take the first few laps, show you what it's like, see what the car's capabilities are, and then I'll put, we'll go to the pit and we'll have you drive. So he drove it. It was great, man. He was loving it. He didn't realize it was all-wheel drive, and he also didn't realize, a lot of people don't realize that the paddle shifters, they hold the gears. So I'll show you an example. It's not shifting. It's not auto shifting for me. So he was really surprised that it didn't auto shift. So anyway, it didn't auto shift, and he was having a blast. He did his first 3 laps, and I was beyond excited to do my laps. So anyway, I finally get behind the driver's seat. I'm driving, making a few errors here and there. Look, I am not a perfectionist. I'm not a perfectionist yet when it comes to the apex. I really got to keep trying it out, keep pushing my car to the limit before I know exactly I can come out of it and bang out of an apex. But anyway, long story short, I did 2 to 3 laps. Everything was good, slowly grinding into it, and then I got an all-wheel drive, high temperature, please pull over immediately notification. First time around, I said, you know what, whatever, this is the first time I'm really pushing the car. Let me not overanalyze it. Let me pull over in the pit for maybe a couple minutes, let the signal go off, and then take it back out. Exactly what I did. It went away. I got back on the track. It took about no more than maybe 4 turns that it was back on, and I was like, what the hell? So at that point, we got off the track. I figured, let's be done with this session. I'll be out in about an hour. Hopefully that gives it its time to diagnose it and make sure there's no further issues, and maybe give it time to just cool down. Got back on the track again, and that notification popped up on my second lap, and at that point I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna push this car anymore with this notification, because one, I've never gotten that before, so I didn't really know what to do. I did a quick Google search, I called my shop, but there was no I didn't really know how to handle it, because there was so many different reasons. Some people say it's a sensor, some people say it's because your tires are not I have an all-wheel drive car, it shouldn't be staggered. Some people are telling me it's because, look, the transmission is not meant to take that type of not abuse, but that type of work. It's not used to that. It's a luxury vehicle, and it was not built for that. So anyway, I basically called it quits with, talking to a couple of my buddies, talking to the person in the passenger seat that was coaching me throughout the whole process. We said, look, you don't want to risk, a transmission failure. You don't want to risk any type of serious overheating issues. So he said, take it home. It stinks that you can't, have the full track day, but you could always come back out after it's in good condition. So I decided to leave. Now, in a nutshell, very furious over that. I was pissed. I was so excited. I got up like 5 in the morning with excitement to go for this full track day, and I was only able to do maybe like one and a half sessions. I did not have a lot of things to do, so I was pretty pissed about that. But it is what it is. I'd rather not sacrifice my vehicle that than for a track day. A track day can be can definitely be redone. I could always have another one, which I am. So anyway, what have I done since then? So I figured it out. It's not a sensor issue. It's not anything else but the fact that this car is really not built for the track. So I need to do a few things to it to get it ready for the track. One thing I need to do at some point will be the transmission upgrade. So level 10 does a bulletproof transmission. Hold on one second. I don't know what this guy's doing. Level 10 does a bulletproof transmission. There we go. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Level 10 does a bulletproof transmission, and that transmission is supposed to make it bulletproof. They basically take it out, rebuild it from the ground up, and it's supposed to be like the best thing in the world. Problem is, it does cost a pretty penny. It's about, it's about $5,000–6,000. So I'm not like jumping on that right away, but it's something I will definitely be doing at some point, just not right now. So what else did I do was I got a Q50 transmission cooler, the actual tranny. Now I'm also working on an oil one as well, oil cooler, might as well since I'm already in there, but I wanted to get the transmission cooler in ASAP, especially with the issues I was running into. So I now have the Q50 still in transmission cooler installed, mounted right on the front, and so far I haven't noticed any changes. I probably won't until I'm actually out on the track and see if you know, that overheating problem goes away. But as of right now, I can't really tell you I feel a difference, but it definitely feels good to know that, you know, my transmission is obviously being cooled more than stock, because I definitely don't drive my car like a grandmother, like a typical Q50 driver that's not an enthusiast. So I'm happy I at least got that. What else did I do was the Q50, the front end, I finally got the S bumper installed. So you know what, I'll show you guys a clip of that real quick, because it's a beauty. It's a beauty. It came out phenomenal. And I also changed the grill. I got the gloss black grill to just match it, but it looks amazing in my opinion. And you know, I'll show you guys in a minute. Let me know what you guys think. But I'm having a really good time with this car. It's just one thing after another. Yeah, you run into issues, but you know what? That's cars. So here you guys. Here's a nice footage of the brake calipers that I had installed on my last 2 videos. So this is of course the Akabono big brake calipers that I had installed, because my car was not a Q50S. I have now made it a Q50S basically, so there you go. This is the new bumper with the new grille. I think it looks absolutely phenomenal, and I am extremely happy with the results. So the car is not clean, so I apologize, but that's kind of what I've done so far on the vehicle. So what's my next mod? I don't know. Coilovers is obviously the next one, but I haven't decided what I wanted to do with the coils versus the bags. But as of right now, I think I'll be going with the coilovers, because I don't want anything too crazy with suspension, because I will be tracking this car for the most part. But here's how the car looks right now. I think it came a long way. I'm looking forward to the next track day in September. Now with this Q50 still in transmission cooler, which actually, let's see if we could actually see it. Not a chance. Yeah, I don't think you can actually see it through the bumper. You know, next time I take it off, I'll show you guys how it looks, because it does look pretty awesome. But this is the video for today, guys. I will have more content. Sorry, I kind of died down a little bit. I've been really busy with, you know, other stuff, but I appreciate all the time you guys have given me. I appreciate the likes, the subscribes, you know, all that stuff. And I hope to have, you know, more footage in the near future. But here's the vehicle, how it stands right now. Again, much more content coming. Just give me a little time. Baby's growing up a little too quick, and I don't want to miss a damn moment. So that's why I've been busy. But today's actually also happy, you know, Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thanks for watching. I think 99% of my viewers are actually men, based on YouTube analytics. But anyone that's watching out there, happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to my wife, first time Mother's Day, and my mother, of course. So thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time.